been anywhere over
You
there.
haven't been on that side of the Atlantic?
All right.
Boss is in charge, let's go.
Good afternoon, everyone. Nice to see you all here. Welcome to the Western Placer Waste Management Authority meeting of the Board of Directors for Thursday, September 11th,
Ominous day.
a day that we will remember. Let's go ahead and we will call our meeting to order, which I have now done. We will begin with a Pledge of Allegiance, and I'll ask Director Halden to lead us in the pledge. Of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. All right, roll call, please.
Director Halden,
Here.
Director Haddishelt,
Here,
Director Landon,
Here.
Director Reedy,
Here.
Chair Gore.
Here. Thank you. And Emily, if you would read the meeting procedures, please.
Welcome to the Western Placer Waste Management Authority meeting of September 11th, 2025. Agendas are available on the table outside this meeting room. If you are here to speak on a matter that is not on the agenda, you may do so during public comment. The board is not permitted to take action on items addressed under public comment. All items on the agenda will be open for the public to address before final action is taken. Accessibility information is provided on the meeting agenda. Please turn off or put in silent mode all cell phones and other electronic devices. Thank you for your participation.
Thank you, Emily. And fortunately, 2 board members heard that warning and checked their phones, so appreciate that. I would like to ask the board, before we go to item number 5, which is a closed session item, I would like to switch to public comment and switch those two if you are agreeable, because I know we have a member from the public who would like to address us, and I'd like to give him that opportunity. So this is an opportunity for folks to address the board on items that are not on our agenda. So if anybody would like to make a public comment, Mr. Long, come on up to the podium. Let's make sure the microphone is on, and we'll give you a couple of moments.
How's this?
Yes,
Perfect.
sir.
This is, I'm surrounded by people. I'm not a rock star and I'm not used to this. Can I take this and stand over here?
Actually, stand there.
Okay.
Because you should address us and
Okay.
not all of them.
Okay.
I mean, they're important too, but
Okay, perfect. This is perfect. Thank you. So, my name is David Long, and I'm the manager of a radio-controlled flying club that happens to be on the property adjacent over here on the other side of Fitimet. And I wanted to do a couple things. One, I wanted to bring you up to speed on who we are, what we do. We believe that we provide a lot of value to the community, and because we're on your property, it would make sense that you all know who we are and what we do with the community, how we involve other people. About 5 years ago, I retired from the IT business, and after 40 years of sitting in front of a computer, I now sit on a tractor, which is completely awesome. And so what happened was, after about a year of being over at the field, working on it and improving it, it became very obvious that we had a gold mine over there if it was handled properly. So what we did was, I kicked in 100 thou. I bought 70,000 worth of equipment, tractors and implements and what have you. The club kicked in another 100 thou. So in 4 years, we put 200,000 in the ground. And by doing that, we have now made ourselves, for several reasons I'm going to state in just a second, we were the #1 RC field in the state of California. So if you haven't been over, you really should come over. It's clean. It's well organized. It's very well put together. 4 years ago, we started with donation collections, and what we did is we had 4 major events, and we targeted a local charity at each of these events: Placer Breast Cancer Foundation, Gigi's Playhouse, Healing Heroes, and Wounded Warriors. We generated over $120,000 that got dispersed among those organizations. 2 years ago, we had 6 kids from high school show up, and they had a little RC group of their own. And there was 6 of them, and we called them the Mavericks. We thought that was kind of cool because it was the whole, Mavericks jet thing. we're now at 65. So these kids are between the ages of 8 and 18. They have their own board of directors. They have regular executive and general meetings. They've learned Robert's rules. They organize their own events, and they train for our free training program, which I'll talk about in just a second. In the meantime, the parental community associated with these kids has grown tremendously. The parents have their own social organization. They all get together. Most of them have never known each other until they met through their kids at the field. We provide all of the equipment to get them started. So there are no financial barriers. If anybody, include kids or not, if anybody comes over and they want to learn about a free training program, you use all our equipment until such time as you are trained safely enough to be able to fly, land, do all the basic maneuvers. So we have reached a lot of people through this program. The kids, by doing what they're doing, are learning all about problem solving, engineering, building, flying, and camaraderie. So we are at a point now to where this program would be the tail that's wagging the dog. We built an organization called the Trifecta, and what that is a relationship with the Lincoln Airport. They have an organization over there called EAA, which is Experimental Aircraft Association. They will give any of our kids free rides in a full-scale plane anytime. And they also have a program that's national called Build and Fly, and they actually, ironically enough, they build radio-controlled airplanes, then bring them out to our field and fly them. So we connected with them. Then we connected with the Aerospace Museum of California, which is over at McClellan. And the reason we did that is because I sit on the board. In fact, I'm the president of the board over there. So they offer extended educational programs. And in addition to that, they also offer 3 $13,000 a year scholarships to kids between the ages of 10 and 18. And so what will happen is we'll have a kid come into our field, excuse me, learn how to fly RC, find an interest in full scale. We'll take them over to EAA, they fly full scale, they get really interested in full scale aviation. We take them over to the museum, and the museum's got a ton of educational programs over there. And then encourage them to jump in on the scholarship. So even though we start off as a little radio-controlled flying club, we have now put ourselves in a position to where between us, Lincoln Airport, and the museum, we can take a kid and actually progress him from a little hobby model right into a career. So that has been tremendously successful. We have people from the museum, kids from the kids from the museum that will come over to our place, and we have kids from the EAA that will come over to our place or go to the museum. So between the 3, we're moving kids through there like there's no tomorrow. Our free training program is very cool. What we did was
Hey, Dave, I'm gonna have you move it up a little bit faster.
Okay, so.
Give us a website.
What's that?
Give us a website.
AmosRC.com.
There you go.
We hired a marketing person. She does our social media, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. She's a professional photographer. Our literature is a hand and son to Scott, which is our flyer for an event that's coming up in 2 weeks, which is the Jet Rally. You have to come.
And when is the Jet Rally,
It's the
Dave?
26th and 27th.
26th and 27th of September.
Please come. It is full on. It's as good as it gets. There'll be 1,000 people, 1,000 spectators over the course of 2 days. The food's awesome. What you will see is second to none, guaranteed. It's an experience. And most of the people that are there have been there before. Usually once somebody comes once, they come every year. It's that good. Thank you for working with us. You know our situation, and we all understand our situation with the land that is across the street and what your plans are. We appreciate the opportunity to fill you in on what we're doing, how we're doing it, and we appreciate your flexibility in considering any alternatives to help us continue the momentum. Even though we're a bunch of old guys years ago, we're not that anymore. We're now serving the community, and we're actually providing value. So that's what we're all about.
Thank you.
Okay.
Appreciate that update, Dave, and I'm sure you've got flyers for the event, and you can share them with anybody who's
Yes.
in the audience.
I gave a stack to Scott along with some other goodies, so thank you for your time. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Anyone else like to make a public comment during public comment? Come on up, Dan.
Thank you. Good afternoon, good evening, staff and board. I'm Daniel Rumsey, Vice President for FCC Environmental. I've met most of you and work with this team every day. And first and foremost, just want to give a few updates on the site, progress, and do some key introductions, some of the additions we made to our team. So first and foremost, if you haven't seen, we're processing material, all of the material over all of the new systems where they're designed to be processed. So exciting times on that front, right? So C&D, all of the new MRF, everything's being processed, all the organics is going to the right facility. So that's key to our success. And again, we're making improvements every day. So really exciting times on that. Our contractor, Van Dyke, is still working through making some small tweaks, again, improving the processes for overall improving the quality and those kind of things, but again, making really good progress on that front also. Outside of that, I would say that, despite the significant headwinds we've all discussed and talked about, and we all realize that we wish we were here today 6 to 9 months ago, but I can speak extremely confidently that our team is working extremely hard, hours and hours beyond what is expected to make sure that this site is really everything that we expect it to be, really the the crown jewel, if you will, of high diversion in California. So we're excited about that. Outside of that, I do want to introduce a couple of key players. So Tony, I wanted to introduce Tony. Tony is our new area manager for California. Before I do, also want to quickly introduce Virginia Jones. She is our compliance expert, has been in the compliance world for 10 plus years in California. And although we've had a few compliance concerns in the past, again, she is our expert and is everything we have more than expected. So. But I'll let you introduce Tony and go from there.
Good evening, board, staff of the WAPMA. So, Tony Perez, area manager. I'm very humbled and honored to represent FCC. Lived in Lincoln here with my family for over 12 years. And at one point found myself complaining of delays, the construction, so much so that I said, I want to get in there and be part of the solution, be part of the team that turns this place around. So just heavy focus on people, staff, development, making sure we have the right people in the right place, empowering the staff to make decisions. I'm excited about the action plans that we're putting together and excited to provide and continue to provide solutions for the community. We deeply love this facility and we benefit from the One Big Bend system. We want to continue that. So with that, we'll be around for any questions that may come up. I may not have all the answers yet, but as I get my feet wet and start to understand better the team, the efficiencies that we can gain, we'll continue to be here and provide that. Thank you.
Great, thank you, Tony. Anyone else like to make a comment during public comment? All right, then I'm seeing none. We will go back to item 5, which is our closed session item. And Ethan, would you please call? It's yours. Take it.
Sure. Thank you, Chair. So yes, item 5 on the agenda is a closed session under Government Code Section 54956.9C for conference with legal counsel on initiation of litigation regarding one potential case. And Chair, if you could ask if there's any public comment on this before we adjourn into closed session.
Oh, all
that'd
right.
be great.
Is there any public comment on this item that's really clear? So you probably don't even know what it's about. All right. Seeing none, then we will move to closed session, and hopefully it will not take us too long. Thank you. It's all right. Thank you for your patience, everyone. Appreciate that. We're back from closed session. Council, did you want to report anything out?
Yes, thank you, Chair. Actually, there is no reportable action from closed session, so.
All right, thank you. And on with our continued meeting, it is item number 7, announcements and information. We'll start with 7A, which is a report from our general manager. Scott.
Thank you. Thank you, Chair Gore. Having some microphone issues. Just a brief update. Wanted to, first of all, acknowledge Andrea for her work that she's done. She is leaving us on September 26th. And I know that, Andrea, you've been here for 3 years and gone through several life changes, and we really appreciate the effort that you've put in to building, this facility. So thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you.
The MRF is, as was mentioned earlier, all the material coming in, inbound material, is running through the systems that they're supposed to. So MSW is going through the new MRF, C&D is going through the new C&D facility. Construction is almost done. There's still some loose ends to tie up with the CASP and the composting side of things, but it is getting very close. So we're very excited about that. Switching gears a little bit, we're pleased to report that we have 7 responses back to the landfill gas RFP. So staff is right now in the process of going through those responses and putting the framework together to move to the next phase, where we will engage the board before any decision is made on how to move forward with those proposals. If you've seen, the final note I would say is we have new cubes out there, so we've grown a little bit and we've expanded and we're trying to use all the space that we have, so that's a good thing. And the last thing, just to make Will and the ops team happy over here, is we purchased 3 WATMA vehicles. They're our own vehicles. We have them. They're new. And we pulled out of the county fleet program, so we're not incurring those charges, and we have our own vehicles on site. So that's a good thing. That's it.
Corvettes, or what are they?
You got a Porsche? No, 3 trucks. 3 trucks. Very, very modest.
Can I ask a quick question? What's the status of the tipping floor? When I talked to you a few weeks ago, it was a little fuller than we'd like.
We had a power outage for a day, and that caused, the floor to be impacted, to say the least. And it's a little ebb and flow. It's right now they're processing the ability to process the material that comes in with 2 shifts. So it does get fuller than we would expect. But as the commissioning keeps going on and the throughput increases, we would expect more room to be seen on that floor. But there are certain days when it's good and you see trucks going in there and dumping and there aren't any issues. And today it was a little impacted. So we want to try to make sure we keep it at an acceptable level.
Thank you.
All right, any other questions? Okay, thank you, Scott, appreciate that. We'll move to the next item, which is 7B, financial reports. Eric.
Thank you, Chair Gore. Your board has the financial reports for the end of last fiscal year in your packet. Wanted to provide you kind of that fiscal year roundup since we didn't meet last month. So in summary, we came in about $8 million over our anticipated revenue numbers, which was fantastic, and about $11 million under our expenses. So finished the year extremely strong. I can talk about any of the elements in there if you like, but I'll turn it back to your board, and then at the next meeting, we'll start giving you financials for this fiscal year.
Thank you. Any questions from my colleagues?
I do.
Okay.
So during the budgeting process, I think you talked about, so I'm on, my first question's on 52,360 professional and special services general. That's like 46% over the budgeted amount, 1.4 million-ish.
Mm-hmm.
can you, I remember the credit card processing fees, we had that discussion during the budgeting. Have we since gotten that back under control?
It's more so, yes. Stephen Fink, who is in the audience tonight, is the authority's administrative fiscal officer. So he and I have worked with the credit card processing entity, mostly Stephen, big credit there, to lower their fees. So I think it's on the order of about 60% of what they were charging us previously. Still expensive, but a lot less than what it was. The other big component in there was the county admin charges that were being charged to us, and those were stopped at the end of June. So we're no longer incurring those
Okay.
costs.
And can you just recap for me what the 328,000 for capitalization of Mod 6 is?
Yeah, so Module 6, the new module out there, the new landfill module, because it is a public work, because it is a large project, all those costs are capitalized. So which, were you referring to a specific line item there?
Same one.
Oh, same one, under 52,360?
Yeah.
So initially, some of the charges for consultant work would hit that 52,360, and then we go back and we reverse those and capitalize those.
So is part of the 1.35 include the 328 or not?
I would have to go back and take a look at that before I could commit 100% of the way, so.
Okay. And then the other one that's kind of crazy is the, where am I going? Sorry, I have to zoom in because it's so small.
Yeah.
52,440 rents and leases equipment, that was 24,000 and we spent 373. This is the leachate spill cleanup effort.
Correct.
How does this cost work for WATMA versus FCC, and like how's that relationship work and the cost? Like, why is that on our statement, for example?
So in this case, that was a WATMA cost. It had nothing to do with FCC or their operation. So that was something that we had to bear internally.
And remind me what that was.
So we have a leachate force main that loops around the entire landfill, where leachate and landfill condensate is pumped and then disposed of to the sanitary sewer. There was a leak in that line, so there was a rupture at one of the joints, and it entered into the storm drain system and into one of our storm drain ponds. So we had to remediate that and keep it from exiting off site. And that coincided with a major rainstorm that came in. So we had to do a lot to, if it had been a dry time, it would have been really easy to get that water out in a tank and take it to the sewer. But we ended up processing a lot more volume of water just because the pond that was impacted kept taking in a lot of rain, and we had to keep that from going off site.
Got it. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other questions? Suppose I should open up to the public, but I'm sure you guys don't want to comment on that. All right. Next, we'll go to 7C, which is monthly tonnage reports.
Good
Will?
evening tonight, Chair Gore, Board of Directors. Good evening. Before you have the first 2 months of the fiscal year's tonnages. So far, looks like green waste, C&D, inerts, and wood waste are trending below projections thus far. This is due in part to likely the construction operational issues that are kind of being experienced currently. That's resulted in smaller tipping areas and longer queue times. However, as with most early projections, right now this is usually trends lower than expected. Right now, we don't forecast any foreseeable difficulties and long-term decreases in tonnage. If we do, we will bring something back to your board to adjust these forecasts for the budget as a whole. With that, I'd welcome any questions from your board.
Any questions? We have the report in front of us. All right, thank you. All right. Item 8 is our consent agenda, and all items on the consent agenda are considered routine in nature. And we can vote on them all at once. Would anyone like to remove an item from the consent agenda?
I do have a quick question on B.
Item 8B,
Yeah.
what's your question?
I just wanted an update because it's an ongoing thing, and I wanted to kind of know how it's going.
The liner?
Yeah, because it's for environmental services to evaluate and review, right? I was wanting to see. We're continuing it because we have to keep monitoring it. I was trying to see how it's going.
Let's do this.
Yeah, I'm gonna
Let's
pull it off.
let's pull it off, and we'll ask the question.
Okay.
Anyone else want to pull an item off the consent agenda? All right, so we'll pull off item 8B, and
I'll make a motion to approve consent agenda items A, C, A, and C.
Second.
all right. We have a motion and a second. Do I need to do a roll call? Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Great, then we have item 8B, and did you understand the question?
Yeah, I don't have a concern about approving the expense. I just wanted to understand where we were with, it sounds like we're in the middle of something and we had to extend it. I'm just wondering how it's going.
Yeah, good afternoon, Board Member Reedy again. Thank you very much for the question. So the project is ongoing. Modules, the 513 investigation area, solutions have been found, and so they're implementing them. We're kind of in the remediation portion of the investigation, so we're looking to wind that down as we end that project, and that's for the greater overall all of Mod 6 approval by the Water Board instead of the partial approval that we are operating under currently.
Okay, so the extension is just to cover it, but we haven't found anything new since.
They have not found anything new since in the Mod 513 separation area where the difficulty was encountered. They have since moved to the backside of Module 16 to investigate a seep that has dogged us since 21. I was out there on Tuesday when they started unearthing it, and we actually found the leak in question. So it looks like a small fix, but it is, increasing the spending authority for these projects.
Thank you.
All right, any other questions on this item? All right, we can open it to the public on this item. Close public comment and.
Move approval of 8B. Second.
We have a motion from Director Hodeschult, second from Director Halden. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Next, we have item 9A, which is the MRF operating agreement. Eric.
I'll take this one. Staff is here
Scott.
this evening to seek direction related to FCC's failure to meet the guaranteed minimum recycling levels for municipal solid waste and for construction and demolition debris for fiscal year 24-25 as required by the MRF operating agreement. Just for a little bit of background, in 1996, the WATMA, the board, decided to upgrade the MRF to be in compliance with AB 939, which is diverting 50% of the waste from the landfill. Obviously, times change, and SB 1383 required another upgrade, which we're going through, a $120 million upgrade to divert 75% of organics out of the MSW line, and also still be compliant with 939. Since the agreement has been in place, it set up minimum levels for diversion for those two streams, and the agreement requires at least if it falls below 85% of meeting those minimum required levels, it can trigger a default, which is where we are today. And just a little bit of history, in July of, we go back to the first year of the contract, where there was a event that could have triggered default on the MSW, or excuse me, on the C&D. In the second year, they were below the guaranteed levels, but they were not in a default level. In the third year, which is what we're talking about this evening, they fell below the level for both C&D, MS, and MSW, which would then could result in triggering a default. Throughout the years, this has been handled differently through negotiations with the disincentives. In the first year, they were waived in lieu of changes to the construction project. In the second year, it was very similar, where the disincentives were part of a negotiation for an amendment that dealt with some modifications and some changes to the construction. And where we're at now, they're at the liquidated damages to be assessed would be $994,000 and some change, and the agreement could be triggered into default. So there are a few options that staff has been working through about how we could move forward, and we've laid out 4 options. Which is, 1, levy the full disincentive adjustment of $994,210, which we'll need to do some verification to make sure that number is accurate. It could change just a bit. Number 2 could be authorize staff to negotiate an amendment to the agreement. Should your board proceed with this approach, staff would develop a series of deal points for your board's consideration and to bring back to the next regularly scheduled meeting. Third option would be develop a framework detailing measures to what it would take for us to go down the route of if we had to have a new contractor come in and operate the facility. It's a monumental task. There's a lot of things that we would need to explore, a lot of work we would have done. We want to create a contingency plan to be better prepared for any situation that might occur. We're not at that level now. We've realized we have some work to do on the planning side to prevent any issues for the WATMA if, in the future. The fourth thing would be to direct staff to work with legal counsel to take the steps to initiate an immediate termination of the agreement. At this time, staff is recommending that the board chooses option 1, 2, and 3, not 4, although it is up to your board's discretion. So we're happy to take any questions.
Thank you, Scott. Questions? Director Halden? No? Not yet? Any questions? All right. Let's go ahead and open this up to the public first then. Any members of the public wish to comment? No. All right. Then we'll bring it back to the board for further conversation, discussion.
You want to go? Go ahead.
I'll just make a couple of comments. I'm supportive of the staff recommendation on this. I think point 3, I want the message here of point 3 to be, received that it's prudent for us to be ready if we have to make a change, and if the failure to meet the requirement, the MSW and C&D requirements hit, I think we have to be ready. I don't think, well, I can only speak for myself. That's not what I want to do, because we've been down this path with you folks, but we just want delivered what we are contractually entitled to. Hoping, we've hit a lot of milestones here of late, so hoping we can hit the milestones that matter on the diversion. So,
Thank you. Others?
Yeah, I would agree with Director Halden. I had an opportunity to meet Tony, and then shortly after meeting with Tony, take a tour. And Tony made a commitment. He's, as he said earlier under public comment, he's not satisfied with the performance. We need to get there, because I don't know where the liability lies, but there will be some liability should they not be met. Should it not be met, 1383 not be met, the state may give some room, but we can't be assured of that. And I suspect that FCC wants this to work as much as we do. So I'm supportive of options 1, 2, and 3.
Thank you.
You can go ahead.
This is going to be a broken record. I feel the same way as my fellow directors on this. I agree with the 3 recommendations that staff has. I'm, newish, the newest member of the board, but
you're the smartest of the new ones.
Hey now.
Of the new ones. I'm a new.
Okay.
Thank
All right.
Thank you.
I'll accept.
You totally derailed me. Echo what Bruce said. And Director Halden. I don't want to see us having to do 3, but I think it's prudent for us to do so, to be prepared. And I want to see us be successful, because I think all 4 partners in the JPA depend on the execution of this, and I think we have the opportunity to set the standard for the state in this regard, and I want to see us do it. So, and And I hope that FCC gives Tony and the team here the resources that they need to execute on the contract and to deliver that promise of the original, intent. One minor addition, which we had talked about a little bit, was maybe pausing our grand opening until we actually meet this the 1383 requirement, so we really have the celebration of being a facility, as I understand it now, maybe the very first one that is completely compliant with that, which would be amazing. So, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, I will agree with everything said so far, and I would also relay, I think, the message. I think Tony is an incredible hire, and I think you really scored big time when you got him. And so my hope is that, as Director Reedy mentioned, that you really give Tony the tools that he needs, because I think he really has the capability to do an excellent job. And so I'm really excited and hopeful for the future there. And then one other thing I was going to mention that we also kind of chatted about was it would be great to get a deadline from you guys of when you expect to meet that 1383 compliance. And then for us to be able to have a check-in with all of you, maybe in a couple months at the end of October, to just be able to check in and say, this is where we are, this is what it's looking like, and then we know we're checking in regularly to just see where things are going so we can keep tabs. But other than that, I think those are my only comments.
Thank you. I think I don't really need to add anything else to my colleagues. I want this facility to be successful. And one of the biggest challenge has been the compliance, and that's been a challenge. And we all need this to be successful. But I think that this is a message that we got to get there. And so work with us, work with the WAPA staff. It's been hard, right? It has been very hard. And, I appreciate the facility, walking out there and seeing it. I was there today. I took a fellow supervisor from San Benito County around along with me on a tour. Emily and Scott took us, and I can't wait to see it work the way it is completely supposed to work, right? But it is phenomenal. And I appreciate the hard work that has been done. Thank you, Andrea and others. And it's been tough on our staff. It's been a hard couple of years. And I think we can all acknowledge that. There's probably fault lies on all sides, right? But I feel like we can reset and get to the place where this is a win-win, and we are all celebrating when it's time to celebrate. We'll still do the open house trash bash. We're not getting rid of that. But I think we want to be in a place where we can celebrate a really successful facility for all of us, but also for you all to show everybody else what actually can be done. Because when people hear about what we do here, they want to do it. They would much rather have a one big bin and just 2 trash pickups in their community and get a great product at the end of this process, right? So I know we can get there. I believe that, but it does mean that the FCC team has to have the tools that they need and the support, and a good working relationship with the WAPMA staff, because although we are we're the owner of the JPA, we're also your customer on this, but it behooves us all to work well together. So I just want to reiterate, I think that that's our board's position. And so with that.
I had one, sorry,
Yes.
I just had one other thought that came to mind. I also just wanted to say thank you to all of you, because I know you have done a lot of work, and Chair Gore kind of touched on it, but I just wanted to make sure that we acknowledge all of the work that you guys have done as well, because I know it has been a challenge. And so I just really appreciate that you guys have really, dug in and put your feet to the grinder and done really good work to get to a good place. So I appreciate that.
Thank you.
I would move staff's recommendation do you need this to be read, or just staff's recommendation to pursue options 1, 2, and 3?
That's perfect.
Second.
All right, so we have a motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries, and it was Hottishelt and Reedy. Yeah. All right, thank you. Any reports from directors?
I don't have a report, but I realized I don't know that gal over in the corner. I don't think I've ever met her. So I just wanted to know who you were. Oh, nice to meet you. Okay. Oh, that's so weird. I
She
don't
was
remember.
over here last meeting. She got her
Oh,
PE,
okay.
so we celebrated her.
Okay. Okay, thank you.
All duties, other duties.
Yes, as assigned.
necessary. Right.
Yes.
Anyone else? I do have one, well, basically an upcoming agenda item, and that is, two things. Our next meeting in October, I am not able to attend. Supervisor Landon, I understand you're not able to attend the October meeting?
I feel
Is
like
that what I heard? But there's one
Oh, no, I can come. It's just I wanted to know if it was a late one because there was another
All right.
event that night. But
So
I can-
there's one item that we do need to address, and that is the evaluation of our general manager, because it's been over a year. And Scott is working with a consultant to help us do that. I'm not going to be at the meeting in October. I've got to be out of town for a CSAC board meeting. I would like us to do this in October versus November. It just feels like November is sort of late, and I'm wondering if you all would be up for having a separate, just special meeting to do the evaluation for our general manager. So it doesn't sound like we have a lot of items for October that we could actually,
We could skip October and push that to November. That was what staff was.
our regularly scheduled
correct.
items
And then
could
have a
wait
special.
until November, and then maybe have just a special item of the evaluation for our executive, or for our general manager.
Wait, I'm confused. You're not gonna be here in October?
Not going to be here for
But you
October.
you want to be here for the general manager's
I
evaluation.
definitely want to be here for the,
So we
Basically
need to
change
pick
the
a
meeting
different
date.
date in October
Yeah.
because October 9th does not work.
that is correct.
So okay.
And we can have somebody on staff reach out to figure out
see.
an appropriate time
Yeah.
sometime in October, because pretty much it's going to be a closed session item anyway. We'll open it up, and then we'll all go into closed session.
I mean, if they have other things, we can cover it too, right? If they have things they need us to cover in October, we could do that too, whatever,
Yeah.
if we're all gonna be
On
here.
whatever that date is.
Yeah.
That could happen.
Can we do it at the
Like-
trash bash on October 18th?
So if that's, yes, go ahead.
I'm sorry.
We could.
Here you
If
finish.
that's okay, we can work with staff to figure out an appropriate time. I just don't want to wait until November. It feels too long.
I just had a kind of report that I just wanted to mention. Obviously, today's 9/11, and quite a day for our country. Every year, Rockland does a Patriot Day. It's this Sunday from 10 to 3. Just wanted to invite you all. It's at Quarry Park. Whoops, wait a minute. It's at Quarry Park or Johnson Springview. I forget. I think it's Johnson Springview. Sorry.
Yeah.
Just want to invite everybody if they're looking to do something. Our team puts on a nice day, and we started it at the 10th anniversary of 9/11. So,
On Sunday?
yep, on
Thank
Sunday,
you.
10 to 3. Yep.
All right. If there is nothing else, then we are adjourned. Thank you, everyone. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Chair.